Hey there guys, I'm back again. Sorry it took so long, but finally got another game review up. This time we're going to go with FTL, Faster Than Light. I picked it up on a Humble Bundle a while ago, and I'm pretty happy with the purchase. Lots of replayability here. As you can see, at the moment I'm just kind of flipping through a bunch of different ships I have unlocked, trying to figure out which one I want to use. Each ship has its own little special things about it. The starter ship has a nice diverse crew to it. The engineer ships have all kinds of fun gadgets and drones, and the unlocked by beating the game human ship has a big artillery laser, and each ship has its own little unique things to it, including an alternate version of layouts to your rooms that's unlocked by completing 2 out of the 3 challenges, achievement-based challenges that each ship comes with. I think what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to play through a little bit here with the slug ship, Man of War. It's got this little bio beam that kills organic people really fast, like crew members and stuff like that. You can rename your characters. You can change what they look like if they're human, between like a male and female. I tend to just go with rather unoriginal names like Pilot and Shield to tell me right where I want to place them, so that when it comes to it, I can figure out where the heck I want them to go. I'm going to do easy too, because I'd rather not show myself getting completely obliterated, which could potentially happen on normal anyways. The fun and yet frustrating aspect of this game is that due to its incredibly random nature, you could get off to a really good start and then all of a sudden go south real fast and in a hurry. You might just die right off the bat. Anything can go wrong. Anything can go right. Right now, for instance, this is a drone. There's nothing my biobeam can do against this. How the ships work is you have a pool of energy that you spread amongst different things. So in the case of the shield symbol and oxygen symbol and stuff in the bottom left of the screen, you'll see how they have green bars. What that green bar is designating I've got that much power going to that system. In the case of the weapons, there's the individual requirements of each weapon. You'll see that my burst laser takes 1 bar, my anti-bio beam takes 2, but you also see that to the right next to those is a little 3-bar setup, which means that I can't put more than 3 bars maximum in any of my weapon systems. It looks like my engine got damaged there, so I'm going to go have my slugs repair that so I can take off and jump to the next location. The plot here is really simple. It's basically you running from the rebels to get back to the Federation so you can tell them about their top secret weapon. So how this works into the gameplay is you're on this kind of unset time limit where you have to get to the new area before the rebels catch up to you. I just ran into another rebel ship that's drone piloted, so I guess we'll just take some bombs out. You'll see the ship over there is using a cloaking system. All it does is it means you can't target it while it's cloaked. Kind of a nuisance. Good way of getting the shields back up, but the shields won't matter because we're going to hit it with a bomb, which teleports through shields and then just explodes. So, you know, in a situation where you have something with a lot of shields, it's a very handy alternative, even though it does use your missile counter instead of just power to it. Weapons all have a time to them and how long it takes before you can use them, a little charge up time if you will. This can be improved by getting better weapons and also by manning the weapon system room. Specific rooms, the engine room, the pilot room, the weapons room, and the shield room all gain a bonus if you put a pilot in there. As you can see, as we're just crushing through these events, you gain scrap, and scrap can be spent on upgrading your ship or buying stuff later on. I'm gonna put some points into the pilot because what this does is it allows me to have minor autopiloting, although I cannot jump unless I still have a pilot in there. So These blue spots on the little area map are all nebulas, which usually have more difficult things, such as the sensor system doesn't work, or sometimes it affects your power and your overall power gets drained. The slug ship doesn't have sensors because they're psychic. It's a slug thing, I guess. The action can be paused at any time. In my case, it's the space bar that does it, so that you can plan your next attack in case things are getting a little vicious for you. In this case, now that I have autopilot and my dodge percentage is terrible anyways, I'm going to move my slug over to the weapons system so I can cool that down quicker, so I can take this guy out before he blows up my ship. At the very top of the screen you'll see the hull bar, and that's your overall health bar that can only be repaired at some stations, and sometimes you'll run into an event that'll repair it, but it's not something you can change on the fly, unlike your shield, which constantly refills in the middle of a fight, so a lot of times I like to pump up my shield as much as possible. You'll see at the moment I have their ship pretty much disabled. I've taken out the weapon system, I took out the engine. It's not going anywhere, so I devoted my guys to repairing my med bay instead of actually focusing on finishing it off. There's more elaborate things that can happen. You'll see I'm going to a store right now. It's really a simple game, but it's entirely based on how random it is. In the case of here, sometimes instead of having crew available for hire, and the different races of crew, sometimes I'll just run into new weapons I can buy. And of course the prices change of it. You can fix your ship, you can buy more fuel. Fuel is required for every jump from one place to another on a map. If you run out of fuel, then you have to wait and hope somebody comes by that'll share some with you. All the while those rebels are closing in on you. The next time I go to jump, you'll see to the left the encroaching circles of the rebel forces closing in on me. And of course, the goal is to get through all of the sectors. Okay, right now they're not on screen, so you can ignore that. But the goal is to get to all the sectors and get to the final confrontation with the rebel super weapon. And of course, depending on how luck is treating you through your trip, will directly influence how it goes. There's only so much skill that will get you through this game. You can know what weapons you want, and you can set it all up right, and all it takes is one or two bad random events or a lucky shot to pass through your shield, and it's game over, start from scratch. This is great for replayability because it's so random, so it never really feels like the same thing twice, but it's also a pain in the butt when you've had a stellar run and you get to that final boss and he just absolutely crushes you because you realize that, oh, I should have brought some bombs to get through the super shield that it's got. Or I should have had some drones to stop the onslaught of missiles from going through my shield and destroying my ship before I can do anything. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because it makes it fun, because you can keep playing it, getting different things, having different stuff happen. But it also gets to be a bit of a chore at times, because there's times when, right off the bat, the game is just brutal and wants nothing but for you to die. And I've had that happen where every single encounter has been nothing but boarding parties, slaughtering my crew until I finally didn't have any crew left. It really does become a game of attrition at times, although for the most part it is really fun. I mean, you're just going through all these random encounters, you're upgrading your ship, figuring out how you want to run the power. Maybe I want to upgrade the shields and the power, all that, so I can take more shots in a fight. Maybe I want to go with weapons that just disable systems so that I can hit them heavy with one attack. There's all these different possible combinations, and you're only limited by, of course, how random the game is. And if it seems like I'm really heavily emphasizing how random it is, it's because it's really the main part of the game is how random it is. No two playthroughs are exactly the same, and in turn it lets you experience a lot because the same options aren't always available. Sometimes you'll run into like an anti-bio beam in the store, and if you're not starting as the slug ship, that might be the only chance you have to ever get the anti-bio beam, or you might not ever see it at all. You might end up using nothing but drones because of what's available to you. You might end up using nothing but normal lasers. You might be having a terrible time and just running into super hard encounters and just have no money to spend on anything because you're constantly repairing your ship. It's hard to really label any one playthrough experience of the game because all the playthrough experiences are completely legitimate. To get back to what's going on screen right now, you'll see I'm trying to line up my bio beam to take out as many of these little red dots, which are their forces, at once, because one of those achievements to unlock the alternate ship with a slug is to kill 3 dudes with the ray, which I just did there. And you can see it popped up, disintegration ray. So that's 1 out of 3 achievements I need to complete with a slug ship in order to unlock the alternate slug ship. So the game is a lot of this. You play through, you unlock stuff, you play through again, or you just play through the same thing, and you just keep playing through and trying to do better and hoping your luck's better and seeing if you can make better choices. It's really fun. I'm certainly sure that it's not for everybody. It's not exactly a very system-taxing game. This is running on my laptop, which is why it's taking me so long to do this review. It's fun. You should check it out. It's usually pretty cheap. It's well worth the money.